Yes, sir.
Hey there, everybody out there. Welcome to Banjo Race. Sorry we had some technical difficulties starting up, but we are here. Um, Finally, I'm just doing one last thing I forgot, streaming to the Discord call for everybody in Discord to finally watch. Welcome to the loser final match of the Grunty's Revenge 100% tournament. The PBs are probably wrong above the screen because I forgot to do that before the start, but hey, there's always something to do, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, today is Nade versus CaptnDingPot. The winner will go on to face the almighty Go-Go in in the grand finals of the tournament. I wonder how that's going to turn out, but you never know. I'm not actually going to be doing commentary today. We have 3 commentators in here. We got Clear Those Fluffy Cookies, Sharpless, and Go-Go. So once the race starts, I'm going to be dipping out and leaving it to them. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, you guys have a pretty close PBs, it looks like. Hopefully it'll be a good race, I hope. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. I guess one last thing is Gogo. What are these 2 players playing for, second and third place?
So for third place, that person will be guaranteed to walk with at least $75, and for second place is gonna be $125. And
Okay.
if one of these people manages to beat the other racer in this race and then beat me, they have the potential to win $175 as the grand prize for first place.
Yeah. So pretty good prize pool for GR. Definitely makes you want to pick up random games just in case there's more in the future.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Are you guys ready to go?
I am.
Okay, awesome. I'll count you guys down, and then I'll pass the microphone to you guys. So get ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. And good luck.
Good luck.
Alrighty, and they are off.
All right. So we gotta go with the essential, turning on fast X. It saves a lot of time throughout the whole run. Even for a cast, it's actually faster to turn on fast X because it saves two frames per text box.
Yep, it is so essential. It's immediately apparent on this first molehill if you forgot to turn on fast text.
Yeah, and it's just so annoying when you actually need to time the A presses when you're trying to go fast.
I know
So
there's
something-
one runner that turns it on like right in front of that molehill instead of as soon as they get control of Banjo, and I always think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I would forget if I did that, if I tried that.
Yep. So we have ThinkPod with a slightly more optimal switch press there. You want to make sure that you press that switch as far up as you can so that the camera doesn't have to scroll as much.
True. So yeah, there's not a lot to say about the very, very sharp, but there will be. We want to see optimal lines, and there's some strats where if you get bad enemy patterns, you can damage boost off them to try to mitigate the bad RNG. But yeah, Dingpot pack whacking, and that'll cost him a solid 0.5 seconds. It looks like.
Yep.
I know that Dingpot has a bit of a history with 10 jiggies, so I'm kind of interested if he uses some of those damage boosts that are more common in that shorter category.
True, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, it is worth noting that today DingPot actually got a 1.5 PB, and ooh, he misses the jiggy.
Yeah, he went up too early and did not get the jiggy. You hate to see it.
He also got his first sub 10 cliff farm.
Oh wow.
He got a 953, all thanks to a 30 to 30 seconds remaining on the sheep mini game.
That's quite impressive indeed, yeah. I don't know, has Nade had a sub 10 cliff farms before?
I would assume that he's been really close, but not quite. Oh no, he gets the honeycomb too.
Tech. So unfortunate. So
The thing that DingPot did with the underwater jiggy, I'm always afraid of doing with the Jinjo that comes up later on.
Yeah, Gogo actually did that in his run. He forgot the Jinjo, but he still got like a 950 cliff farms because of all the optimizations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I will say that like that jiggy, that jiggies in this game have a massive hitbox, so you can go way earlier than you think when you're surfacing, when getting that jiggy in the pond there. But the Jinjo is about as big as you expect.
Yeah. Alright, both runners getting the note that I forgot. Very nice, very nice.
Nice.
And the clean damage boost from DingPot. Nade will be walking up to get roll. He damage boosted off that grunt weed, so that one you can avoid it with like optimal lines. But there, Nade looked like he knew he was gonna get hit, so he just damage boosted.
Yeah. It's even faster to damage boost, since when you get knocked back, you actually go at rolling speed.
And you're going in the direction you want to go.
Yep. Again, it looks like Nade will be sticking to the old route for this section, where we'll be doing Klunga 1 before the sheep mini game, which is about a second slower.
DingPot going for the faster route. I go for the old route too, but that's just because I'm so used to the old route, but I should learn the faster. Every time I leave the roll hill, I'm thinking I should go to the sheeps, but then I never do because I feel like I would mess up. But Cliff Farms, there's not a lot of leeway. It's actually interesting there's even a route difference. DingPot missing a sheep.
I love that
there.
there's a diversion as early as 4 minutes or so into the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think DingPot will regret not getting that sheep in the bottom row. It's gonna take forever before spawning again.
Yeah.
Sheep droughts are brutal.
The sheep drought. There seems to always be a sheep drought around like 23 seconds. 22 seconds.
Yeah.
I never really did try to predict that, but that's interesting.
So yeah, since DingPot is not doing the Klungo fight before this section, he will have to damage boost off of enemies. Meanwhile, Nade should already be at low health at this point.
So I got the 2 clean damage boosts. And he jumped over the chick. You hate to see the chicks have really erratic movement. They can't go far from where they spawn, but their movement is very varied.
Yep. Damn, Nade is having like so much better RNG than DingPot.
I'm surprised DingPot didn't damage boost off of that whip crack on land. He must have a different pattern for getting hit.
Yeah, I'm not 100%, but Nade ending with a 17, it looked like DingPot ended with a 19 on the fishing minigame.
Yep. It's weird because like I feel like the fishing minigame like barely matters when you're like at any like level except for a top runner, and when you're a top runner, it just sucks having to constantly reset on the sheep minigame because the RNG is never with you.
Yeah. It's so varied. Sometimes I've had patterns where it's like only in the first row and it's so nice, but sometimes you get the opposite.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes sometimes you have to get like a million doubles in order to get an acceptable time.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting that right now we have the runners kind of switched. We have Nade doing the river section and Dingpot doing Klunga.
And looks like we have Dingpot rolling off the silo there. It's a bit slower since you fall straight down, and it's not until you touch the ground that you actually start the cutscene for the first empty honeycomb.
Yeah. That actually works too with the collecting the last chick. I always find myself rolling into the last one, and then the game waits until the roll animation is over to give me the text. And I
Yeah.
always think it's faster if I didn't roll there.
It's actually not bad with a roll, honestly, since you're all like you're pretty much
Already on the ground.
you're already at going at roll speed, like
Yeah.
even if you're not getting interrupted.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Hitting the corner of the building, that happens so frequently. When you're trying to get the absolute tightest lines, and then you're like hitting 1 pixel of collision.
Story of Grunty's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like it just feels like you're rubbing against the wall, except you press left or right when you're like going into the wall, like facing up, and you just don't even rub against the wall.
Yeah.
You're like clipped into the wall sometimes.
I'm curious, are either or Sharpless, are you proficient in that little jump where you can skip the fall animation down in the windmill?
I can kind of do it. So when I leave, I hold up left and I just time my jumps, and it's not that bad. I have difficulty in the second mouse section. There's a couple jumps at the very bottom in Breagle Beach, the Breagle Beach mouse section. Like there's a couple jumps when you're going around the bottom that I always like my movement gets really slowed, and I don't know why. But
Wow.
yeah, that's in any percent. This Cliff Farms going back to Mumbo's hut is very similar to any percent.
Yep. The only thing that changes in any percent is that you don't get any of the anti-honeycombs.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
when
you
I was
skip.
I got the mouse section honeycomb in my first any percent run coming back, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I don't think that run finished.
So it does seem like Nate's gonna be on a good cliff farm there. It's not quite gonna be the sub 10, but it's gonna be a fairly solid time.
Definitely.
Oh. So yeah, Nate like jumped into the Jiggy there, because if you collect the Jiggy on the ground for the Ginger Jiggy, you actually get a 10-second cutscene that's unskippable.
Imagine that was
jumping.
slow text.
Yeah, that would take forever. But so now we got both runners opening up Breagle Beach. And the section afterwards can cause a lot of time loss. The little spiral mountain section before Breagle. It's good to take advantage of roll invincibility and damage boosting to get through the flames, basically.
Yeah, and sometimes you can end up in trouble if you take too much damage, because coming up shortly there's gonna be a boss fight which requires you to enter with at least 4 HP.
So Nade damage boosting twice.
Yep.
Very clean. And getting health. I think both runners will be getting health before Breagle, I think.
There is a honeycomb right above the entrance. I think most of them run into it because it's not that much of a deviation from the straightest line.
DingPot going for the damage boost, but he got knocked the wrong way.
I mean, if you don't get that honeycomb, you don't actually get 6 HP, you only get 5 when you upgrade. So that's why people get that honeycomb there.
So we got Nade collecting notes at the start of Breagle. I like to avoid the notes except for those little the 3 cliff notes right there. But the ones at the start you don't really need to get because you can get them when you're leaving the level as well.
Yeah, you certainly do want to get a couple on your way in, but
Yeah.
most of them you don't really want to get them.
Yeah, basically you don't want to waste too much time getting them because you'll be able to get them later with Talon Trot.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, time for... is this even the last swimming section in the game? Like, I don't think we, like, dive underwater past Brigal Beach.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, there's only 2 sections in Cliff and then this one section in Breagle. Definitely interesting.
So how can Banjo breathe underwater? He holds his breath for 50 seconds.
Yep.
That's why
And
there's bubbles.
yeah, if you swim into a bubble, then you just get full air. Because that's how it works in real life too.
Obviously, you get all that coral doing photosynthesis just for you.
Exactly. So
I
we have
always
Nade
find that the
starting a
last
Congo
little
fight.
gap you swim through is the hardest one.
Yeah, it can be annoying for sure.
Yeah. I personally have never had any issues with that because I feel like I've always figured out that like it takes 5 taps to just go get the correct height that you want. So here we can actually see the fast strat of doing this boss fight, and it's as you guys could see, Nade like took a lot of damage on the first half of the phase, and that's to basically end the phases as fast as he could. It's definitely a pain when you get there and you don't have 4 HP.
Yeah.
That strat has easily saved me 40 seconds in the past.
It's a good strat. So we've got Nade finishing the fight with Dingpot entering the little second half of it. Still a pretty close race. Nade with the slight lead, but anything can happen.
Definitely. I'm so excited to see these 2 runners do Quarry Heights.
Nade climbing the ladder to get that the Jiggy after the fight.
And they jumping over the Gruntling there. Depending on how fast your movement the Gruntling can be in either a really bad spot or a really good spot. And if you take it slightly slower, they're like he's usually towards the left side, and you can just jump over him. So that's compensation.
Yeah. Alright, so now we've got the second mouse section, the Breagle Beach mouse section. I think it's the also the second to last one. I think there's only 3.
I think so too. I think the hardest part about single cycling it is those steps you mentioned at the bottom before.
Yeah. I always seem to lose momentum on them. And doing this section with 4 health is a pain. As you can see, Nade would be dead if he didn't get health. So clearly the choice of getting health has paid off so far.
Yep. All it takes is one bad death to make
Jinjo.
it worth.
Because I run this with 4 combs,
Oh.
sometimes I have to...
Nade died.
He did die. He got absolutely trolled by the Gruntling RNG.
Yeah.
And he tried to juke it for the Jinjo.
And it looks like he's still ahead because of the memes that happened in Cliff Farm.
Yeah. It's not that difficult to back up dying in this section, but it just is obviously time loss.
Yeah. It can be awful, especially if like it's one of the last enemies that kill you, since you have to go
Shout out
through
to
the
the Yum
entire
Yum
section
clan.
again. Yeah, I forget that can happen sometimes.
Especially when you get your 100th note and the Yum Yum clan is directly on you at the same
Top of
time.
you, yeah. That has happened to me before, 100%ing Breagle and then immediately dying and having to run all the way back from the ghost ship fight, where the ghost ship fight was.
That's why I get a refill where you learn eggs, just to make sure that I don't die between that and the... I can't remember what the mine enemy is called.
I think it's called the shrapnel.
Oh yeah, the
Shrapnel.
shrapnel. Those guys are killer. And they like to guard a couple of notes in the water. Quite annoying.
Not to mention they didn't get the memo about iframes being in the game.
Alright, so now we're gonna have 1 out of 3 auto scrollers for Breagle Beach. This one's not that bad, the slide. They only have to get 20 worms on the slide, but there's more than 20 on the slide itself, so you can have a
do you
little
know
bit of
the
leeway.
maximum amount of worms you can get on this slide?
I don't even know.
That's a good question. I think I've gotten
I
like
think there's
24 or
3 extra you
25.
can get.
Only 3?
I've
so.
gotten 20 before the last 3, and then the like 4th one in the middle. So I've gotten 20 before all those 4 worms, and then collected all of them. So I think 24 is my best. But the counter counts down, not up, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, and it stays at 0 when you're done too.
So now this is the true boring auto scroller where they sit in a corner.
Yep. Shoutouts to Caleb Celtics fan who started doing this. Before we would just like go around the map, like just praying that we don't get sniped, but this is so much easier.
Yeah.
That's a name I haven't heard since I started running.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Caleb Celtics fan has the like 5th place time, or maybe 6th. I think Dingpot and Nade have bopped him. But they are quite an old runner.
Yeah, I think they had a 107 or something.
I think they're still shouted out on the Speed Demos archive run.
Nice. Alright, and if you guys thought 2 at the scrollers was not enough, it's time for a 3rd one.
Yep. I don't mind this one that much because it feels like you can do it faster than like just if you didn't know where they would spawn. But
Yeah.
once you're doing it at the highest level, it's essentially an auto scroller.
Yeah, basically. It just feels like there's more waiting than actual doing stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
This auto scroller makes me happy because I always have 1 second of time save.
True. His name is great. I agree with that statement.
Nade is the great. To answer your question, I don't actually know. I highly doubt they're playing on keyboard and mouse. I'm assuming they're using GameCube controller.
Yeah,
I think Gogo and I are the only keyboard players. I wouldn't quote me on it, but most likely.
Yeah, yeah, people definitely prefer to use the controller.
I definitely do. I have done keyboard runs before, and this game is actually not that bad on keyboard relative to most games.
Surprising.
It's certainly playable if you only have a keyboard.
I'd say that it's up to personal preference, honestly, because I've seen people like get good with a joystick instead of a D-pad.
Yeah, I think
I feel like that
DD
might make egg firing mode a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think DD Lux preferred the GameCube joystick over the D-pad.
Yeah.
So now we got the Spiral Mountain timer jiggy for Nade, and DingPot not far behind.
One of these days, someone will do the Spiral Mountain % version of that jiggy, just for the memes.
I mean, I did it once already, right?
Oh yeah, you did.
In my last race against DingPot, I just forgot to do the other route that saves time. Since like the route that they're doing it now is basically what you do in any %, since you get one less jiggy in the early game.
Yeah. I had a run where I messed up and fell off the hill, and
no.
I just went and opened the 2 levels because I had 24 notes or 24 jiggies, but in any % you could not do that.
True.
I love how different any % is. I know next to nothing about it.
The first 3 levels are basically the same. It's really in the last 2 levels that you get to skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like Bad Magic Bayou is just doing all of it in one go except for the tank. And then yeah, you skip like half of Spillers and you skip most of, or actually you skip less than, you skip a couple transformations in any %. It's quite nice. It's basically all the really long annoying jiggies you just don't do in any %.
That's fair.
Because you're still required to get 50 to beat the game. So we only have 10 jiggies of leeway to route.
Yeah. And so far, I think the slowest jiggies that are gotten in the any % route is the Klunga 2 and the Candle Puzzle in BMB.
Yeah.
And Jinjo's.
Mm-hmm.
It's really for the notes that those 3 jiggies are fast, honestly, because the mansion has a ton of notes. Same with the candle section.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he went for the Bonsai tech skip, but unfortunately missed.
yeah, I think it was a little too late on trying to talk to Bonsai there, so the egg hit first, I believe.
Yeah. We'll see if he goes for the 1 in Spillers. And now he can't seem to backflip up there. There he goes. He got it.
Yep. So we have another route divergence there. We have Nate going for like the left room of the mansion first. Meanwhile, DingPot's gonna do it at the end.
Ooh, DingPot with the updated route.
Yeah. With the patented half a second time save.
Love those half-second time saves.
I know, right?
They add up, and they add up fast.
Oh yeah.
See, if you miss 20 of them, that's already 10 seconds.
Alright, so now we got the Klungo 2 fight. So we'll see if they both go for the strat of like staying near the top. I'm still not well versed in this strat. Go, you can talk about it more. To skip his walking phases.
So basically, I don't even know why it works, honestly. I'm guessing it's because like the gap between the tanks at the top is too narrow to like for Klungo to fit in there. So I guess the game just decides that it just stops whenever he tries to go there.
Interesting. There are a few spots like that in Grunty 1 as well.
I mean, there's
You
also,
have to steal that strat.
I guess there's in Klungo 3, there's also the pipes on the 4 corners of the room,
Love that strat.
which for whatever reason like count as like inaccessible locations.
Yeah.
I know DingPot has actually been practicing a lot of those Klungo 3 stops. I'm very excited to see how many he pulls out for this race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like Nate's gonna be quite a bit ahead still, since DingPot still has that one room on the left to do.
Yeah, the left side room.
I wonder, do both runners use battery eggs when doing the Gruntling boot camp, Jiggy?
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think DingPot does it. I don't know if Nade does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Nade might not.
How much time does that save, Gogo? Do you know?
I mean, like, versus like picking the first two and using battery eggs for the other 4, it saves half a second. And the
No,
main time save of why it saves time is because you get to be on the stump as the Jiggy spawns, so the camera doesn't take as long to scroll.
Does that mean you could have a pixel perfect crash there if you're not careful?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
true. If you drill on the right pixel. So yeah, Nade only pecked all of the enemies, which is what I was doing in 100% as well. I feel like it's definitely the safest, but it's not the fastest.
Yeah. You
Seems
did.
to cost a couple seconds.
I would say that like shooting battery eggs at all the enemies is still better, honestly.
True.
Even if you don't do the build drill at the end.
Yeah,
I packed
DingPot
2
got
of
the
them
real
just
drill
because
at
I'm
the end.
lazy.
But I think he missed his second battery egg on the blue Gruntling.
Alright, and it does seem like we'll be having another route divergence. Also nice. Because Nate will be going for the route that he likes to do, where he basically does the top left corner of this section instead of doing the
The top
lava
right.
section for nodes. He loses 11 seconds to do so, so if DingPot can have a solid section there, he could make up some time.
How
Yeah, he
exciting.
really doesn't want to grab golden feathers here, or else he'll get text like you did on the honeycomb.
Yep.
Looks like he got a good damage boost, and overall, looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, that was pretty fast. So yeah, DingPot is ahead, but he will still have to do that dolphin minigame later.
Yeah.
Sorry to pop it with commentary so fast, but did you guys see if DingPot grabbed the Jinjo on that cliff section?
Nade getting locked behind the molehill. Alright, so the start of Spillers is quite fun. You drill that little pothole, but don't go down there, and then make your way up to Spillerston.
I forgot to unmute myself on Discord, but I did on the stream. Did you guys notice if DingPot missed the Jinjo on that section right before the lava walkway?
He did that on purpose. It's faster to get it later.
No, not the one on top of the cliff by like the shock spring pad, but like the one like right before jumping up, right?
Yeah, the one that's like hidden by
Yeah.
the top platforms. Yeah, you get that later.
Oh, okay, I
Jiggy
gotcha.
there, you get that later.
It's something that saves frames to do, but if you do it, like it's free time save. As long as you can remember that it's there.
Yep. And DingPot also got the Spillers, the Bazai tech skip, which was very clean.
Nice.
Whoops.
And also he jumped up to get the 2 notes where the timer Jiggy spawns, but then it looked like he realized he wasn't supposed to do that.
Nice honeycomb there that he got.
Yeah, keeping him at full. Nade getting hit by the bees. Very, very, very hard not to get hit by the bees.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using the iframes thing.
Yeah, you can just get sucked by that pink enemy and use the iframes from 1 damage boost to actually take 1 damage instead of 2.
And not take the
Definitely
knockback
a
either from the
godsend for
bees.
us 4 comb runners.
True.
It's also
needs
quite
to
lucky that they get health upgrades because everything's doing 2 damage here. Except for
Yes.
the Germuloids.
Yeah, and the birds too.
So we have another little
yeah,
route
right.
divergence. Nade going to the right side to get more notes. That's generally why I do it, is because my note count is always not where it should be. But Dingpot went to the left and immediately learned Ice Eggs.
Yeah, Nate had to do that because he did not do the lava section.
That's right, yeah. True.
So he was 6 nodes down against Dingpot.
Now we have Dingpot starting Grunty too.
Alright. The movement is RNG there, so you pretty much have to predict what's going to happen. Also, this is like really good so far for Dingpot.
Yeah, he was hitting a lot of shots. A lot of doubles too.
I noticed that you have a pretty high likelihood of hitting the shoulder heart area on Grunty if you double tap the eggs as soon as you get control.
Yeah, I learned that from Go-Go the other day.
Yeah.
You just mash, you'll usually hit. It's a really nice strat.
I think that was a pretty good Grunty fight for Dingpot there.
Yeah, it's quite clean. Let's see if Nate can do just as well. Ooh, he almost missed a note, but a good thing he got it.
Alright, let's see what Nate does with this. Goes for the hat first. Alright, gets it pretty quickly.
You got 2 shots. You got the right or left Grunty's left hand, it looks like.
Oh, but Nate's saving the middle 3 targets for the end. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, especially when he gets in this situation and doesn't have any eggs.
For
Yeah,
reference, what would you say is the most optimal target priority?
I would say like the 2 on the hat and the 2 on her neck. Because those are the 3 that are really easy to get blocked by Grunty spells.
Yeah.
And it does seem like Nate did get a pretty decent Grunty fight here too.
Yep, no major trolls. And so now we'll have both runners on the octopus section. First thing you do with the octopus section is to give the little piece of poop his toy or the ice cream. It's essential.
Yep. Ice cream with raspberry juice. Gotta love this section right there. That's very cycle based. So if you're consistent with your movement, you can know exactly where all the enemies are at all times. But except if you slow down or mess up, it can be scary since you may be hitting some cycles that you've never seen before.
Definitely feel that.
Dingpot getting hit by the very last enemy. Still pretty clean though.
And here Dingpot struggling a bit to get the warp there as the octopus, but still gets it on the second try.
Now we have Nade finishing up.
I think Nate may have had like a slightly cleaner sewer section there.
I think Dingpot got hit once, and he had to adjust his movement a little bit. Yep. Nade was holding right basically the whole time.
Yeah, and he got the warp on the first try too.
That warp can be deceptively difficult compared to, well,
yeah,
the rat one is basically free.
Yeah. A lot of times when I was learning this game, I would get onto the roof as the octopus, but then fall off too early, and I wouldn't actually warp, and I was so confused.
If I don't get it in 1 or 2 tries, I just walk back over.
Yeah.
Now we got the sandcastle section coming up from DingPot and Nade walking over there right now. It's still a really close race. It's hard to tell even who's in first because of the route differences in Spiral Mirror.
Yeah, I think Dingpot still has that dolphin minigame, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that like DingPot is probably very slightly behind at this point, if I had to guess.
We got DingPot doing some angle jumps. Very scary. If you fall down, then you gotta walk all the way back. Oh, it looks like he stopped doing it as soon as I said something.
Fun fact, if there was a way to actually speed walk your way into the sandcastle as Banjo, you could basically cheese this whole section by just
oh my
jumping
goodness.
on the top
Yeah.
path. However, there's a slight issue with that. You cannot leave the sandcastle, so as soon as you enter, you're basically soft locked in there.
Locked, yeah.
Yeah, there's no
That's
liquid to
funny.
speed walk out. I suppose you could save and quit. Or does that keep you in,
It still keeps you here.
Ooh, yeah, no.
That's funny.
Yeah, once you get here, you're trapped forever.
So usually at the end of the sandcastle, there's like one more note that we get after the Jiggy, but it looks like Nade didn't go for that, so hopefully he already got it at the earlier parts of the sandcastle.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think I saw it, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, we'll be able to tell by his note counter.
Yeah, you definitely want to say like 93 notes as soon as you get to the top of Spiller's Den.
Oh, he missed the ice cream truck jump. Not a big deal though.
I think Dingpot manually lined up for it as the mouse. Probably broke even or lost some time on it.
Hmm. So I wonder if any runners will go for there's a sticky walk you can do for this last Jiggy, but I think Go in your route, when you do that, you get that at the start of the level. So if they were gonna go for it, they would have already got it.
No, you do it right after the slide.
Oh, you do it here. True. I'm thinking of any percent. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, in any percent you do it like as you learn Go Federal, since you're never
Yeah.
going there again.
We have DingPot lining it up right now.
Yep.
If you soft lock on the
Oh,
Build
he
Haven
soft locked!
Super
He
Jump-
soft locked.
Yeah, oh, how much time does that lose?
He's saving the game immediately.
Probably 40 seconds.
Yeah, because you have to watch the intro. That's insane. I didn't even know you could soft lock there.
Yeah, if you get right all the way up to the top. That's why you can't out of bounds in this game, sadly.
Dang.
Sometimes you also like, as you're trying to go up, you just clip like on the left wall.
That's funny. Well, at least he was able to save and save.
Oh, hey, it's almost saying.
Yeah.
Wait, he doesn't remember the order. Okay.
Yeah, he's got it. That was funny though.
This should make for a very interesting race. I can't wait to see what Freezing Furnace is going to look like.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta keep in mind that like he's gonna fall behind, and oh no, he falls off.
Fell off, yeah. So now he has to hit that switch again to get the last two notes.
Yep.
And Nade will be making his way out.
Yeah, he's gonna be saving so much. Actually, I guess it's not that much time since he still need to do the lava section, but still.
But he does have gold feathers at his disposal, which will make it a little bit easier for him.
Yep.
What is the time loss for the Gold Feathers cutscene again? I think it's pretty low risk if you end up hitting it.
I assume like 10 seconds, maybe.
It's like the same length as getting a honeycomb before
Oh,
Klungo.
gotcha.
I was gonna say getting an empty honeycomb, which would be time loss in any percent, but you need that in 100. You need all of them.
At least in Spiral Mountain percent, you only need 2 of them.
Alright, so both runners opening up the last level, Freezing Furnace, but this will not be the last time they come here because they'll have to come back to open up the Grunty final boss fight.
Yep. And I would say that the route will be synced as soon as both of these runners enter Freezing Furnace.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
assuming Dingpot does the dolphins, he still has to do the dolphin.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
He'll probably be doing that after Furnace because that's faster, you told me.
Oh, right, it's faster to do it after. I'm so used to like seeing like people do it before, honestly.
I'm so used to doing it before too. I need to retrain.
I only do it before if I miss the jump to do it after.
Yeah. So Dingpot with both runners actually with exactly 470 notes to get fire eggs.
Yep.
Love that routing. Wasn't this game pre-routed before you began running Go-Go?
Yes, it was. Like, I think the world record when I started running the game was like a 101.32 for 100%.
It's still interesting to see how different the routes are compared to modern day routing.
Yeah, like I will say that like since then, I would say that it's mostly tricks that have been added to the route. Like it hasn't changed all that much.
Yeah, were there any glitches known about when you started running Go-Go, or was it like a glitchless run?
It was basically like Grunty and Klungo skip, honestly.
That was pretty much a hit.
Ooh.
Yeah, those were basically the only 2 glitches that were done in the run.
We gotta see a GR glitchless run one day. See what that looks like. It'd probably just be really slow.
I mean, if you want, you can look at the test from 2010.
True.
Don't worry, Sharpless, I'll join you. We'll do glitchless together.
Yes. Nade got the
Oh,
honeycomb.
Wait, DingPot's good. Okay, you just realized that he's low on health there.
He's getting health. Smart.
Blistering buttons is brutal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nate's gonna be slightly better at spelling Gruntilda since he entered the section with full HP.
Do you know how much HP Dingpot started that with, blistering buttons with?
I think 3.
Oh, wow.
He probably fell in the lava, if I had to guess.
Yeah, usually if I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. He was lining up his second ice egg shot and he fell.
He did start with 3.
Yeah, 3 is just barely not possible, I feel like, for blistering buttons.
You have to get some help if you have below 4.
Yeah, usually if I'm at 3, I just death warp.
Dingpot with the backflip.
Yeah, the backflip after the shot, and he took another death. So unfortunate. He was basically on the ground, but he took the fire damage.
Yeah, that jump from the pipe to like the loading zone there is very precise.
Yeah.
Like I do know that Nate like practiced it a lot since he would never get it in runs.
I noticed it's very similar to the way that you do the egg puzzle skip in Monster Manor for Spiral Mountain percent, because I noticed that the precise thing is getting your Rat-a-tat wrap off at the exact time that you turn that corner.
Yeah, definitely.
True. Alright, so Nate finishing up Klungo 3. And we have Dingpot on the last hit of Klungo 2. So he's doing those jumps there to skip the walking cycle, right?
Yep. You can let Klungo walk into like the pipes that are on the corners of the room, but
Yeah,
it
that's
does
what
involve
Nate did.
waiting a bit.
So DingPot with the slightly faster strat, but way riskier, because if you fall off there, it's a lot of time loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be at least 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, if you're low on health, like, it could be a problem.
I don't like how those Germuloids can absolutely combo you if you get 3 or 4 of them on you.
I know, right? It's like, oh, you have health, now you don't.
Let's see how many frames that'll last.
Oh no.
DingPot with 3 HP.
Going for the death warp with 3 HP. I'm disappointed.
Nade had 1 HP, and he only had to run straight up to the water.
Yeah.
You
That
need to actually practice getting up there without just relying on Death Warp.
yeah. The death warp only saves 1 second, so if you have like more than 2 HP going there, like, it's not faster to death warp versus just climbing back up.
Yeah.
It's to the point that I never see that very bottom right part of Freezing Furnace.
So Furnace, yeah.
I know, right?
For a long time, I was guilty of not knowing how to get back up, but then I was like, maybe I should figure it out, because... But in any percent, it's when you have 4 total HP, it's hard to... In Furnace, it's hard to have a lot of health at that point.
Yeah.
DingPot with the very, very slow movement. Getting all of the snowflakes.
All of them.
Every single one. I don't even think that would be possible for a Tess.
I don't think so either, honestly.
I'm still gonna challenge myself to get that pixel perfect crash as the tank, but the speed walk is so tight.
For which one?
For Grunty Industries, how you can speed walk into it and
Wait, Nate fell off there.
Nade fell off.
Oh, this could be like time for DingPot to catch up a little bit, honestly, because that cutscene takes a long time to watch.
And the camera all the way up and then all the way back.
ooh, yeah.
DingPot going for build notes on the igloo.
Interesting.
Yeah, you only want the bottom one, but if you... I guess that DingPot really was motivated to get everything as Banjo and save nothing for the octopus.
Yeah, the octopus like comes back basically right on top of that first note.
Yeah.
I know it was a little bit ago, but one of the things that I hate having happen to me that I noticed in Nade's run is landing exactly on the pack-whack switch.
Because then you have to adjust your movement on the ice physics, and if you fall off anywhere, don't get enough momentum on your jump, then it ruins your jump essentially.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the ice physics in this game are horrendous.
That's what makes Klungo 3 such a beast.
Mm-hmm. If you're not in talent trot mode, it's pretty much no telling what your momentum will be like.
Alright, it's time for everybody's favorite section. Don't blink because you'll miss it.
You will miss it if you're not absolutely paying attention. The candle section, freezing furnace.
Wait,
so short.
wait, are we actually gonna see 2 candle sections in freezing furnace at the same time?
Same time, yeah.
Damn, I think that's the first time.
Yeah. DingPot got pulled a little bit by the tornado.
Alright.
Nade
DingPot got hit once. Alright. Alright, Nate saves a bit of time over the candle section there.
Not taking any damage. Very clean cycle.
And that was the candle section.
And that was the entire candle section. The tank section is it feels pretty short as well. It's obviously not as short as that section, but you only get about like 5 notes and a Jinjo and 1 Jiggy.
Yeah.
4 notes actually. But this jiggy takes a little bit of time.
I want to say that Candle's underused, but it has as many sections as the tank.
And the octopus.
Yeah.
Alright, so transforming back to Banjo. It is very, very bad when you transform into something you don't want to transform into. It wastes so much time. And
Yeah.
even transforming into Banjo when you have to transform into something else will waste time.
10-second transformation plus your text mashing time.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
It's definitely brutal in BMB2 when you're so close to the end of the run, and the default option for your transformation is never what you actually want to turn into for BMB2.
Yeah, it's the rat.
Yeah, it's so troll.
That just goes to show you that it's like... You would think it to be either the candle or the tank, because both of those are right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's always like the rat if you have no new transformations. Also, DingPot is saving a lot of time against Nade on that fishing minigame.
Yeah.
Like DingPot got a 17 remaining and Nade got a 8 seconds remaining.
Yes, he did. And then now we're gonna have the storage room coming up for both runners. The storage room can be quite annoying.
Alright.
Yeah.
Looks like DingPot is doing it counterclockwise.
Yes.
Hopefully he doesn't forget that note. Okay.
Ooh, almost getting the... I don't even know what to call that jump.
Alright, Nate also going counterclockwise.
Taking a little bit of damage, but not a big deal.
Like, if you do, like, fast movement, you always take a damage unless you get, like, one of the boombox stuck somewhere. Alright, now it's time for the egg mini game. After that, we'll be able to see like the true pace of each of the runners.
Who's truly ahead? Looks like Nade might be... Oh yeah, I don't know. It's quite close.
Yeah, it's Nade.
Yeah, Nade just barely by like probably 10 to 15 seconds.
Honestly, it could change in quiz, honestly.
Yeah, this
really
run could be decided by minigames.
Yes.
Full movement.
That's how tight it is.
Or it could
Alright.
be decided by this fishing minigame. Nade missing one, unfortunate.
Yes. It's crazy to think that the amount of time that you can lose to fishing minigames sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey Sharpless, have you ever tripled on fish minigames?
I have tripled. I think I tripled in one of my race runs. But I've only... Oh, DingPot just did. I've only tripled on this one in BMB. I've never tripled on the other ones. Or actually,
Oh
I might
my
have been
god.
cheap. They ended at the exact same time. This
Oh,
one is
wow.
so close.
Oh damn, this is actually a close race. Let's go.
Let's go. So we got them both doing left side of the poison room.
Yep.
I think Gogo is the only one who goes on the right side first.
Yeah, and it's so precise. Like, I wouldn't suggest anyone to do it.
Yeah.
Alright, none of the runners choosing the rat. Good job.
Nice, nice. Both going for candle. Man, this is so close.
Alright, here comes, like, the not so good candle section.
We'll see who can do it faster. I'm assuming both will be going counterclockwise in this candle jiggy.
Oh, no!
DingPot!
DingPot, oh
Ooh.
no! You have to press save to jump, buddy. So are they both going counterclockwise?
Yes, they are.
Okay, counterclockwise. I don't know why, but doing it clockwise saves half a second.
We got Nade ending on a 40. Let's see what DingPot ends on. That's quite the unfortunate death. They were actually neck and neck before that. But
It's
again,
rare to see a race so close so late.
yeah, I know. I didn't see what he ended on.
37.
Okay. But yeah, this is still a difference of one minigame will be deciding this run, it looks like, unless there's any other major mistakes.
Yeah.
And Grunty skip.
Yeah,
Or,
Grunty skip is...
If DingPot's feeling like it, he could yellow Klungo skip.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Like if he knows that he's like behind, he could be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be saving a minute."
Or he could get a second soft lock. Imagine. Alright, Nade finishing up the tank section and the last of the transformations.
It's all Baron Bird from here.
Yep. There's not much left. There is the poison room jiggy, which they're about to get, and then there's a tree jiggy in Spiral Mountain, and then the Jinjo jiggy.
Yeah, and the Jinjos and PMB.
Yeah, the Jinjo jiggy right here. That
Yeah.
Nade just spawned. So, like,
and the
Jinjo
fishing,
text would decide as well.
and the fishing mini game because they spawned it, but I don't.
Yeah, they didn't grab it yet. They did the work for it. They just need to pick up their reward.
Yep.
DingPot at 99 notes. I'm assuming there's the one next to the fishing minigame he didn't get yet. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, Nade cleaning up the rest of Spiral with DingPot not far behind at all.
Ever since the first race that I did for this tournament, I'm constantly like paranoid in the end game. Just making sure that I have the totals right.
Yeah. You definitely have the 99% world record off that run.
I wonder, are any of these guys like on PV base right now? I would assume that Nade is.
Yeah, I'd assume Nade.
So Nade is currently minus 108.
Nice.
And DingPot is currently plus 101.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all it takes is mini games.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna see an upset to mini games?
Imagine. But I think in my race against Nade, I was -1 going into Grunty, and then I choked Grunty skip like 5 times and lost the race.
Oh no.
So hopefully that doesn't happen to Nade here.
Recovering her movement to get her lined up for that skip is just, it is so difficult.
Yeah.
And Klungo skip, I don't understand how Gogo gets the backup for Klungo skip. It blows my mind. His movement is so random. Nade getting a first try, very nice.
First try. All right. Are we gonna see some mini games?
Was it that paused during a tournament race, like during the minigame?
A wrong answer.
A wrong answer. I wasn't even looking at the question. I was watching DingPot get Grunty skip as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really have game audio, so we can't hear the audio questions. But it looks like they're totally synced up again. This race will be decided by minigames, so hopefully they get the same minigame luck.
Yeah, it will.
Unless, no, DingPot's not going for Klungo skip.
Unless somebody messes up on the final battle.
Yeah, that as well.
This game is one of the most punishing I've seen in terms of speedrunning, just because you have to reset all 3 of those boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you lose like 4 minutes if you die at the end of the third phase.
Yeah.
It's pain.
Definitely.
Alright, Nade finishing up Klungo. And
Ooh.
immediately gets a minigame.
Oh,
Nade's
it's
no.
it's a long one.
It's quite a
Oh
long one.
no.
His gameplay does not dictate how fast it'll go. He has to wait for the timer.
Oh my
DingPot got
That's sad.
two so far.
Grunty Industries. Yes. Where is this? That's Cliff Springs.
Flips rings, yeah. No
Oh
minigames.
no!
That's crazy.
Oh my god! This race is actually gonna get dictated by mini games.
By Nade getting the slowest
amazing.
minigame. Oh my god. We have all these runners now. We need to create an RNG manipulation to ensure that we get no minigames because
Unfortunately, probably impossible.
yeah, that's what I figured.
It's impossible because you would need frame perfect movement in Spiral Mountain.
Well, at least the task can do it. All right. Nade with the audio question that he got wrong, and then he got another mini game.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh! At least it's fishing.
Okay, it's the sheep mini game. It's like the fastest one.
And you can't even take damage on this one. Some of the mini games you can just take damage and have way less health for the last phase of Grunty. But 2 mini games versus 0, I think that was the only deciding factor. DingPot with the soft lock and spillers. I'm amazed at his ability to back it up. He saved and reset almost instantly.
Yeah. I don't think Nade is on PB pace anymore, honestly, since he lost so much time to mini games.
Destroy mini games.
Yeah, Nade went
I
from
was-
minus 58 to plus 42. He is probably very not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
Go knows he's been grinding for runs with no mini games, and he had 7 any percent runs with a mini game before he finally got one without any, like DingPot had.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there is no any percent nor 100% run that has no RNG right at the end of it.
Yep.
I am.
Time for
Nice, very
DingPot.
nice.
I feel
Oh,
so bad for Nade right now.
Yeah. Nade got trolled.
He lost $50 to RNG.
Yeah, that's what I was
alright,
thinking.
I'm
too.
gonna pull them in. Alright, GG's.
I lost.
Or G's.
What's going on? Get me out of here. This game is horrible.
Oh, you don't know the half of it, DingPot.
Yeah, DingPot, you got super lucky.
Alright, GG.
You got 0 mini games.
I
Yeah,
know.
and Nade unfortunately got 2 mini games.
And they were long ones.
Yeah, pirate ship and sheeps.
And sadly, Nade was 15 seconds ahead going into the quiz.
50 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to DingPot.
GG's, I'm gonna dip. I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah. I had a
GG.
feeling.
Damn.
Completely understandable.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, DingPot, you guys were exactly synced going into the candle section in Bad Magic Bayou. And then when you died, we were just like, ah!
Yeah. It was such a close race.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe I soft locked.
Yeah,
I
the
never
soft
had
lock
that
is
happen
really-
into a run.
I've
Yeah.
never. Yeah, that's
Your
what I said. I've
ability
never
to
seen
pause
that.
and just save was great.
Yeah. But yeah, like we
Yeah.
said, Nate at one point was just like about a minute 10 ahead. Then he went down to 50 seconds going into Grunty 2 or Grunty 3, I guess. And then, you know, you guys both got pretty good Grunty skips right away. And then Nate did also end up getting 2 questions wrong, one on each of the quizzes, and then 2 mini games on the second quiz. It was really heartbreaking.
Very painful to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, the RNG at the end of this run is just so defeating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely why I recommend Spiral Mountain 100% for beginners.
Honestly, like RNG mini games are not bad as a beginner. It's only once you start getting good times that it really hurts.
Yeah. This
That's
level.
fair.
Yeah.
Really expecting. Sorry.
No, you can go, Dingpot. I wasn't gonna say anything relevant.
I was really expecting myself to get a minigame on the very last question, but it just never came.
You got the
True.
good luck. Nade with this
I
super
don't know
unfortunate
how.
luck.
I don't know how I was able to get a 105, getting soft locked and having a really bad early game.
Yeah, the honeycomb text really got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what happened again in the early game? Oh yeah, you missed the jiggy in the pond.
Yeah, I had to swim back down.
Yeah.
Felt
Yeah.
like
It
I
feels so
barely
easy to
missed
just
it
want to
by like,
reset on that,
yeah.
but it's only a couple seconds.
Yeah.
I was not ahead for a single split in this entire run, and I still somehow got a 105.
That's
Yeah.
called
That's how I felt
consistency.
when I had to redo the Winky Bunyan Gauntlet and still won.
But yeah, we'll say that Nate was ahead of you for pretty much the whole run. It's only like in it's only like part way through freezing furnace that you guys started trading places.
It was confusing trying to keep track of the pace because you did the dolphin minigame at different times.
Yeah, you had a couple different route splits. But that was a
I always-
great race. If I imagine if there weren't too many games on Nate's half, it would have been so close.
Absolutely. Or if Dingpot got the one that he was worried about on the last question, that would have been a very close race.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty good race, honestly. Good in execution. A few mistakes here and there, but very close.
Definitely gave us stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I think Dingpot, the biggest mistake you had was obviously the soft lock, but then also missing the Bonsai tech skip was unfortunate in
Yeah.
BMB1.
Ooh, imagine if Dingpot hit that too.
Alright.
I was thinking of just like if I got the trick, I was just gonna play it safe and like talk to Bonsai again. Just
That's
to
fair.
get like the 2 seconds time saver, or is it like 4 if you cancel the glitch? I know it saves a bit more if you don't talk to Bonsai again from the side, but
Yeah.